YouTube? It's Rico, man. I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on. We got the violent backstory of the Rudest diss track, Abzsav, Tables Turn. So y'all know what time it is, man. Now, I did react to all the Tables Turn parts by Abzsav. So if y'all haven't seen those videos, definitely go check them out right now. But I remember, I think it was on the last part, which was part 3. I think I had asked like what was the reason why he was dropping all of these diss songs and stuff back to back like that, and somebody was telling me in the comment section pretty much the backstory a little bit. But crazy thing is, a few days later, Kid Nerd decided to do a whole full breakdown video of behind the diss tracks and stuff. So that said, now this is definitely the video I've been waiting for and looking for and stuff. So here it is. So if you guys are brand new to the channel or y'all been watching videos on the channel but not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button now. Also, don't forget to tell your family and friends about the channel as well, and hopefully they become supporters of the channel. And make sure you guys do not forget to smash that like button and comment on the video as well to help the video out in the algorithm. Also, don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys can get notified when I drop new videos, and be sure you don't miss out on new videos. Check out the channel every day, no matter the time of the day, just because you never know when I'm gonna drop, and because sometimes the post notifications do not work at all whatsoever. And also, don't forget to add and follow me on social media. All my social media platforms are listed down below in the description box, as well as in the intro of the video, so you shouldn't have a hard time at all finding me on social media. Now, with that said though, man, we're gonna go ahead and start the screen record. Got started and starting the vid now.
UK drill fans are going wild right now after a West London rapper called Abzsav dropped probably the rudest 3 songs to ever come out. In today's video, we are going into the backstory of these 3 diss tracks, which will clear up a lot about why they are so violent. Let's get into it. So if you're not up to date, like I said before, West London rapper Abzsav just dropped 3 of the rudest diss tracks that ever come out. So rude and disrespectful that it's even opening the question of if dissing the dead should be illegal. Now, I know a couple of you guys probably have not heard the songs, so
the way I look at it is, morally we know it's not right for people to diss the dead and stuff, but at the end of the day, these people, they done lost a lot of people they cared about to the street life and stuff. Once they pretty much had that going either way, that's automatically a setup for a beef to be made pretty much at that point forward. So after that, pretty much almost everything is off the table. Ain't nothing being held back, nothing being said. It's gonna be held back on from certain people and stuff. It's gonna have everybody included. It don't matter, you could be a whole female, a child, a granny, a granddad, anybody. It don't matter. Once somebody dies inside of the street life or around the street life, it's gonna be people behind them that care about them so much that they gonna want to see something happen to the other side that was responsible and stuff. So when they see stuff like that happen, now it's just opening the door for more shit to happen. So this is gonna happen. All these other stuff that be going on the streets is gonna happen for retaliation, etc., etc. So it's like at this point forward, it's like put yourself in their shoes. Hey, they lost a lot of people they cared about, so they gonna do what they feel is best for them and how they respond or react and stuff. So whether that be through a diss track or physically harming somebody and the whole 9. So it is what it is at this point. That's what comes with that lifestyle. So you can't expect anybody to hold back just because you don't feel like that's the right thing they should be doing and stuff, etc., etc. So it is what it is from there. But that said, we're gonna continue on.
So I've put them on the screen now, but we'll be breaking them down and going through the history behind all of this. So the rapper who dropped these tunes is a rapper called Abzsav, who's from an area called Norfolk at the edge of West London. And from the outside in, it doesn't look like the worst area, but Norfolk is home to Abzav's gang, N Gang. N Gang is also part of a bigger gang across the London borough of Ealing, which is a collective of members from towns in Ealing called Southall, Greenford, and of course Norfolk. The reason they're called 156 is because because the areas covered in the gang are UB1, UB5 and UB6 postcodes. 156 beef quite a lot of West London, especially its surrounding areas, but they are mainly into it with a gang from Rayners Lane, which is a 7-minute drive from Norfolk where Abzsav is from. But 156 are better known for their feud with another gang from West London called CGM, which is infamously the gang of the big rapper Digga D. And despite the beef between Rayners Lane and 156 being more personal, most people are probably familiar with CGM and 156 issues, mainly just because CGM are much more well known than Rayners Lane, with CGM rapper Digga D hitting mainstream type of views on his songs, and other members like Rack 5 and Horrid 1 hitting decent numbers as well. But a big reason to do with CGM's blow up on the scene was actually to do with 156. CGM burst onto the scene around 2016 to 17 under their old group's name 1011, and they blew up faster than any other group at the time, gaining millions upon millions of views in some of their first songs as a group. But one of the main reasons for CGM's blow up was due to a murder which took place in the beef between Rayners Lane and 156. On April 11th, 2017, a 156 member called T-Wiz barely even just walked out of his Norfolk home until he was approached by two Rayners Lane members. T-Wiz was heard arguing with the two Rayners Lane members before he was stabbed in his stomach. The two attackers then fled the scene, and sadly, T-Wiz died later that day. CGM blew up a lot on their early songs due to this death, with CGM mocking him in every song, making the name T-Wiz a well-known name in the UK just off his death. CGM even mocked T-Wiz so much that members were even banned from saying his name in any future songs. One of the killers of T-Wiz was a Rayners Lane member called T-Rose, and him and the other guy actually managed to beat the murder case due to self-defense. After beating the case, T-Rose then went on to make a drill song about the murder, while also recreating the scene of the murder in the music video. And even while...
And that was crazy too, man. So at the end of the day, basically what I was saying in the earlier part of the video, if y'all really wasn't catching on, was that once somebody dies, it's up from there no matter what. It don't matter. Like, it don't matter if this is involved or not. Like, when somebody is killed inside of a beef for real, that's just gonna be a recipe for a beef to last like a lifelong cycle, pretty much. At the end of the day, it's gonna always be somebody wanting to retaliate no matter what, man. So at that point, the ops is gonna probably look at it as, shit, we already gonna have people on our heels over this, so shit, might as well diss them and stuff and get the views, the money, etc, etc, etc. Because, you know, a lot of the people that support drill music, like as far as rocking with the music sound, not necessarily the actual shit that's going on, they gonna want to hear this shit. So that's what a lot of people are getting blown up for in music and stuff nowadays anyways, is dissing the dead and the ops, etc, etc. So that's gonna be their meal ticket right there to get put on and stuff a lot faster and stuff. People don't really want to see you rapping about positivity and non-violent shit. Like, that's what's really going on right now. People just want to hear all the craziest street shit that be going on around either they cities or around other cities, countries, etc, and stuff. And that's why drill is so big right now, because a lot of people actually want to hear about this shit. Like, as far as that, I honestly don't feel like people realistically really support the shit that's actually going on, but they like to hear it in the music, if that makes sense. Because you got some people that like the music but don't really like or support the shit that's really going on behind the music for real. So like I said, it just depends on who you ask, man, at the end of the day. But that's how I look at it. But with that said, we're gonna continue on.
Years went by after T-Wiz's murder. 156 members were still out to get him. T-Rose moved around 3 hours from London to a small town called Telford. 156 caught wind of this and rid out 3 hours to Telford, caught T-Rose and shot him to death 3 years after the murder of T-Wiz. 2 hours before T-Rose's death on the 13th of October, back in London, another batch of 156 members were also driving around Hayes with a shotgun and revolver, looking for members of another rival gang to 156 called Purple Haze, when they spotted someone who allegedly had links to the gang called Shaq. The members in the car then proceeded to shoot Shaq multiple times with the revolver, sadly killing him on the scene. The car was then dumped, doused with petrol, and burnt a few miles away from the shooting. 5 people have been charged with this murder so far, including a 13-year-old boy, but are yet to go to trial. Abzsav mentions both T-Wiz and Shaq's murder in his Table Turns 1 song, saying 24 hours 2 got dropped. And even at the start of his second diss track, he mocks T-Rose by pretending he's a skeleton. The reason for this was because a couple years back, CGM member Horrid1 mocked T-Wiz by pretending he's a skeleton of him. See, a year before the double murder of Shaq and T-Rose, the tables were very much turned in this feud. Now, if you listen to CGM rapper Digga D's tunes, you'll probably hear or see him mentioning a guy called Jojo, or you might have seen him with a diamond ring with the words Free Jojo engraved in it. Well, Jojo was a Rainers Lane member who was getting into it heavy with 156, so much that the feds had to relocate him more than an hour away from Rainers Lane to East London and Ilford to keep him out of trouble after he caught a couple cases. But unfortunately, this didn't stop him from getting into it with 156 members, which was clear on November the 18th, 2017. On this day, Jojo left his Ilford home carrying a black motorcycle helmet at 4:45 PM and got a train from Ilford to Norfolk, territory of the 156 gang. He then met up with 3 friends, and around 10 PM, with 2 mopeds and shanks, they started to circle around Norfolk looking for 156 members. Unfortunately, on some bad timing, some affiliates of 156 just happened to grab some drinks from a shop and were heading back to their friend's house to enjoy their Saturday night. When they got to a road called Newnham Close in Norfolk, which was the same road their friend T-Wiz happened to be stabbed to death a few months back, Jojo and his friends spotted the group and jumped off their mopeds to try to catch up to them. The 156 group split up and started running for their lives. But once Jojo and his friends got back on their mopeds looking for the group, they managed to spot an 18-year-old called Jason Isaacs in a dead end separated from his group, which resulted with Jason being stabbed 8 times from a sword and machete. Jason managed to get himself to a friend's house and eventually to a hospital, but a few days later, sadly, he was pronounced dead. The mopeds from the attack were dumped but later recovered by police, and once the forensic team investigated them, Jojo's blood was discovered on one of the bikes. Not only that, but when the feds pulled up to Jojo's house, they recovered the same puffer jacket, hoodie and helmet which was shown on the CCTV from the attack. Jojo was eventually charged with the murder, but the only issue was that there was 3 more people to catch. The evidence was crazy on Jojo, but the feds didn't want him just to go down for the murder, but Jojo refused to testify against his friends and ultimately was sentenced to life with a minimum of 20 years. Just like T-Wiz, Jay was heavily mocked in songs, mainly from Rainers Lane members, with no type of remorse for the 2 young lives which were lost, and you could tell mentally this really took a toll on Abzsav, who had just lost 2 of his friends. In the recent interview he just done with Fumes the Engineer, he talks about how people were dissing his friends for years, and back then for a lot of people it was all fun and games, without anyone realizing.
See, and that's the thing, man. At the end of the day, this isn't just gonna be a whole revolving cycle. Like, it's gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep going on for years and years, just because once somebody gets killed, it's always gonna be somebody to come and take their place or be on the come up and pretty much be the next person up and doing the same exact thing, trying to retaliate for something that happened to somebody at a different time from their point of view and shit. Like, it's just crazy at the end of the day. So you got people that's fighting beefs that had shit happen from years ago. You got people fighting beefs that's just having stuff happening now. So it's like, at this point, this is never gonna end pretty much. So that's why I feel like that ain't gonna go nowhere. Even though we know it's morally not right, it's just once somebody gets killed, everything is up from there. Like, either way, you're gonna have people on your heels just because of the simple fact somebody got killed. So it's like, at that point, you gonna do whatever you want to do, no matter how people feel about it, and try to get put on by making diss tracks and stuff. And a lot of people, like I said, like to see that shit. So that's the double-edged sword of liking drill music. People like the sound of drill music, but then on the other hand, they don't like when somebody they really liked or whatever the case may be from the music gets killed and stuff like that. And then now you got a lot of people saying, oh, RIP this person, the killing should stop. But at the same time, like I said, if you like this music or drill music in general, that's just the downside of it. It's gonna be people really dying behind it. Like, and then on top of that, now people can't really do drill music if they not really able to show that they really was about that life. So people going, oh, I don't think he like that for real. I think it's just music and stuff. Now people gonna want to see him do this shit for real, and then be like, all right, yeah, he a real one. That's why I like his music, etc., etc. So it's no winning or losing really at the end of the day. Like, yeah, the winning is getting put on and making money, but at the end of the day, you still losing because now you got other people that want to say, oh, I ain't believing none of your music until I actually see you do something or see you get arrested for some shit for real to show that you really about what you rap about. So it's like at the end of the day, you might as well do it whatever is best for you, man. And the diss tracks, either way, it ain't gonna stop because now people gonna be doing the same thing back and forth to each other. It's never gonna end, period. So that said though, man, that's just the downside of liking diss music or drill music in general. So with that said though, we're gonna continue on.
Realizing that certain guys actually lost a friend in real life. He goes on to say that the reason he called these diss tracks Tables Turned because he was just replying to all the disses his gang has been getting for years. And when we actually look at the lyrics of his Tables Turned songs, you can see that a lot of disses actually go lyric to lyric with the same disses opposition gangs have said previously, but obviously just changed up to fit the agenda of his gang. But despite all of this, some people still think Abzsav went too overboard, talking about a lot of sensitive situations, like a CGM member called AP's mum dying. He then even goes into dissing big UK drill rapper Russ, by pretty much saying CGM can't try what they done to Russ, with him dissing AP's mum. A bit of backstory on this, basically around 2 years ago, just like Abzsav, drill rapper Russ also dissed AP's mum in the group chat between Russ and CGM members. At the time, Russ was cool with CGM, mainly because his right hand, another drill rapper called Taze, is cousins with a couple CGM members. After dissing AP's mum, Russ had the show, but after decided to go to CGM's block, thinking he's still cool with them. But the tables turned and CGM members robbed Russ for his chain. For a period of time, it seemed like 156 and Russ were cool though, with a 156 member called Nito MB, even featuring on a remix of Russ's hit single 630. But once the song came out, Nito started demanding all over his socials that he wants the song to be taken down, which it eventually was. But despite these CGM and Russ disses, it's clear that Rainer's Lane was the biggest focal point on these songs, with countless disses towards them, mentioning situations like a double shooting on Rainer's Lane members in 2018, or when 5156 members ran into a kebab shop and shot at a couple Rainer's Lane members in 2020. But one of the most painful disses was on a situation that took place quite recently, on the 11th of June 2021. A 15-year-old Rainer's Lane member who went by the name J Taps was on his way to school around 8:30 in the morning when he unfortunately bumped into a 156 member. In video footage, which is way too graphic to post on here, you can see the two get into a tussle, which ended with J Taps being stabbed multiple times and soaked in the blood of Paul in his own school clothes. This was literally broad daylight in front of herds of kids making their way towards school. After the stabbing, the kid ran away from the scene, with even builders who are working on the site nearby trying to catch up to the kid until the police came. A 156 member called Slims is currently awaiting trial for this murder, who was also only 15 and was making his way to school, which is crazy to think.
And it's crazy, man. See, you really got shorties even involved in this, so that's what I'm saying. It's like you got older people involved, you got shorties involved, and that's just the recipe of keeping the cycle going. That's just the simple truth. So, like I said, you're gonna have people, no matter how old they is, whether they younger or older, fighting shit that happened years ago just to say that they was able to retaliate, get their get back pretty much for they side and stuff like that. So it's just a crazy thing, man. So yeah, this is just the consequences of being in the street life for real. If you really want to live that life, this is some of the things you might have to do yourself to prove yourself or to pretty much establish yourself as a well-known person in the street life who does things and stuff and get respected and shit. So that's what comes with it. But with that said, let's continue on.
That this feud is running so deep that school kids from each side are turning on each other. In Abzav's second diss track, he even mocked J Taps for not making it to his 16th birthday, which is sad to know that somebody so young lost their life to this feud. Just before J Tap's death, he was seen in a couple pictures throwing up gang signs, and literally just a few days before his death, he was seen in the Rainer's Lane music video called For Real, which would have made him a target for 156 members. Apart from Rainer's Lane, Abzsav also takes a dig at pretty much half of West London. Areas like West Drayton, South Acton and Wildstone, who are all lesser known areas to have conflicts with 156, which really makes you deep how much beef 156 actually have. But I want to know what everybody thinks of these tracks. Do people think Abzsav went too far on these? Or do people think it's justified due to the previous mocking of his friends? And most importantly, do people think these tracks are even worth it? It's definitely got the whole community talking and hearing about Abzsav, which could work to his favour in his future career. But with the police taking down his songs, his YouTube channel and even his TikTok, he's probably gonna have trouble in the future making any songs without them being taken down, with the police pretty much having control of what is allowed to be put out there. These tracks also might get him blackballed from the industry, with a lot of labels and shows not really wanting to get involved with controversial artists, which can mess up their brand.
I did see though that he is talking about releasing more music, because he did say at the end of part 3 that was gonna be pretty much the last one, and now he gonna start releasing other music and stuff. So I feel like that ain't gonna stop his career going forward. I feel like that's just gonna still have a lot of people wanting to check for him and see what he gonna drop next and stuff, and go from there and shit like that. And if he can really rap and stuff like that, or put out bangers, no matter if it's regular drill or just regular rap, either way, if people really like what they hear from him, they're gonna keep supporting him and stuff. So that said, I feel like that's the reason why he said that's gonna be the last tables turn, because it's shit like this, pretty much the police taking down his videos and his social media accounts and shit like that. So now he's gonna come out with different music and stuff, so that way now they can't say, oh, we took this down because you said this, or you was dissing people from your opposite side and making them mad and want to do shit and cause problems in the streets for the civilians and not just y'all, and get police all involved in everything, trying to solve crimes that's happening between sides and stuff. So that's it. I don't think this is gonna stop his career at all. I think this is just only gonna help him pretty much. But other than that, y'all comment down below how y'all feel like going forward after seeing that or hearing that pretty much. And do you think this is gonna stop his career going forward, or do you think this is only gonna help him get bigger and stuff like that, and continue his career and do other great things as far as accomplishing, like, obviously the music side of things, like accomplishing stuff going on in that aspect? But that's it though, man. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on, and the video is almost over,
which may even prevent other artists from wanting to work with him also. I do think Abzsav is a very talented artist, and if he plays his cards right, he could capitalize on the boost of clout he's now got. But if he doesn't, he's in danger of letting these tracks overshadow his career. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out. I've partnered up with
Well, that is the end of the video. So with that said though, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed my reaction to the video and the video itself in general. Make sure you guys don't forget to smash that like button, comment on the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. And also don't forget to tell your family and friends about the channel as well, and hopefully they become supporters of the channel. And also don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new videos. And be sure you don't miss out on new videos. Check out the channel every day, no matter the time of the day, just because you never know what I'm gonna drop, and because sometimes the post notifications do not work at all. And also don't forget to add and follow me on social media. All my social media platforms are listed down below in the description box, as well as in the intro of the video, so you shouldn't have a hard time at all finding me on social media. That said though, man, that's the end of the vid, and I'm gonna catch you guys later on more, so stay tuned. Peace.